Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. Welcome, survivors. This is Eerie Knight of the Pseudo Posse, and I've got another very niche topic for you all today. This may be more helpful for beginners rather than veterans of the game, but some grizzled, longtime players may not have realized the current state of this innocuous, unassuming block. Can you spot it? It is literally everywhere. Give up? Well, today's video is going to be about the hidden power of dirt. Yes, that stuff. It has some surprising usefulness in constructing a safe, reliable horde base, so let's just get right to it. First and foremost, let's clear any misconceptions of what dirt can and cannot do. Its properties have changed over the years and among various mods out there, so its functional purposes have shifted over time, potentially causing some confusion across the player base. More realistically though, most of you all probably haven't given it a moment's thought. It is dirt after all. But in any case, my main purpose is to also hedge off some of the future potential comments for this video, asking can dirt in this situation do this, that, or the other thing. I'm sure there'll be some creative uses of dirt I didn't prove or disprove within the video, that some of you all may have come up with as questions or suggestions. But, you know, there's only one of me and many of you, so I'll do my best to guess your questions ahead of time. This is a wooden wall, and this wooden wall is going to be made rather long and off to the sides. As we should all know by now, as watchers of this channel, zombies will follow the quickest path of least resistance. So to the average zombie brain, they'd rather barrel through the wall like the Kool-Aid Man rather than walk all the way around. It is just wood after all, and they can destroy that faster than running all the way. This is expected behavior and exactly what we see. What if we put a wall of dirt around it? What happens then? The exact thing you'd expect to happen, of course. It is just dirt, and that is lesson number 1. It isn't a magical force field, there are limits to it. If it were a force field block, that would be highly problematic considering dirt is everywhere. So don't expect to make yourself a hobbit hole and survive the horde. Upgrading this wall to concrete also provides us with more expected behavior. With 10 times the hit points as wood, zombies would rather run around the wall than break through it, and while doing so, plow through the remaining bit of dirt. So let's now conduct another test to determine another limitation of dirt. I'm going to quickly build a very simple zombie dropper 7 blocks above ground. This height is well below the recommended 15 blocks I usually state in most of my videos as the minimum drop height to prevent zombie rage, aka destroy area mode. Also, just as an aside, I am constructing the new stair design I came up with in the previous video that prevents most destruction of stair blocks as zombies climb. Go check that out if you haven't seen it already. But basically, use cube half corner 0-1 shapes as the steps. At the base, extend that out 2 or more blocks and leave a block gap and reverse the orientation. Fill in with cubes, top the cube closest to the stairs with the cube half. After barricading the top platform and turning on the AI information display, we can see that as zombies drop, they enter destroy area mode. Not all of them, but a decent percentage. Again, this is a well-known mechanic, something base builders have to counteract all the time. You might think dirt would serve as an anti-rage device, but you'd be dead wrong, and anyone who has ever had a dirt pit below a zombie dropper can attest to that fact. Dirt is not protective of your structures in this scenario. Coating your columns and supports with dirt will do absolutely nothing to deter the damage you will take as a result of destroy area mode. So if dirt cannot act as a force field or prevent damage to blocks while zombies are in rage mode, what the hell are they good for? In truth, under the right circumstances, they can act as a limited force field. Surprise! It can serve as a low-cost, easy method to protect your vulnerable bases while actually feeling surprisingly realistic for a game in which zombies can punch through blocks, dig massive tunnels, and in which glass is consumed upon drinking a glass of water. If you are looking for an alternative for normal force field shapes that feels much less cheesy and more realistic, here are 2 approaches for achieving some protection. I'll showcase both approaches using 2 different general types of bases in common use among the community: an elevated base design and a ground level base, the latter of which is less common due to how risky it is to build directly on the ground without adequate protection and the use of force fields. Interestingly, simple ditches actually work to protect your player fighting position. Recall from earlier tests in which zombies will bash through a wooden wall despite the dirt, so there are limits to this. make sure your elevated fighting position is adequately supported. But assuming it is, simply build a 1 to 2 block wide ditch around the sides of your base. No need to fill in the dirt blocks under your tower. That is actually a part of the trick. Make sure zombies have a way in and out of the ditch if any somehow end up in there. Stair blocks are optional, but you can leave the access points dirt as well. Frequently when zombies run by a structure, they'll periodically like to stop and randomly beat on it. This is similar to the phenomenon I showed in the previous video with the stairs, but when zombies are within range of the player, they can randomly enter destroy area mode and beat on surrounding blocks. If these blocks serve as supports, this could be terrible. Worst case scenario, your structure could accidentally collapse because the damage accumulation can snowball after one destroyed block, especially if it starts to make zombies get stuck cascading the random beating of blocks. And if the damage is enough, it might redirect the AI pathing to destroy your structure instead of following your path. Best case scenario, you could have lots of repairs to do post-horde, costing time and materials. Using the power of dirt, we can pretty much entirely eliminate this damage. We just saw the structure get beat on without the ditch. Let's see what that now looks like with a ditch. And night and day difference. Zombies completely avoid the tower, instead opting to run straight towards the set of stairs. Damage is entirely prevented along the back and sides, saving your tower from a collapse scenario. Let's pivot now to a ground base. It should be noted that the ditch trick will work for pretty much any base as long as it is adequately supported, or in the case of a ground base, has thick enough walls. So you can stop at that design and call it a day. But for ground bases, there is an alternative approach. As shown with the wooden wall demonstration, dirt won't stop them from barreling through if your defenses are weak. However, if your defenses are strong enough to deter zombies from bashing through your base walls, we can actually use short dirt walls to prevent all damage. Again, we see the same phenomenon when zombies pass by your structure. They will occasionally stop to beat on it, and if the damage accumulates, a breach can be created, and in the case of a ground level base, that can lead to instant death. Instead, build a 2 to 3 high dirt block wall around the back and sides of your base. Just make sure to make the height consistent and not itself a path to the roof of your ground base. If done correctly, it will force all zombies to simply ignore your base and run towards your predetermined entrance. Zombies passing by still will enter destroy area mode, but despite being in that mode, they do not attack your base walls or the dirt. These take absolutely no damage, and the destroy area mode is essentially neutralized. With minimal effort and a little dirt, you can make your base impervious to tons of damage and potentially avoid failing a Horde night. One other thing that should be noted: while the ditch trick works for both ground and elevated bases, the same cannot be said about the dirt wall on elevated bases. For whatever reason, the mystical power of dirt does not deter zombies passing by from randomly beating on the dirt itself. Not sure why that is the case, just be aware of it. Unless the player is underground, zombies tend not to attack dirt blocks. So I think that it is the mechanism for why dirt has these special properties. Woodworks and ditches have been used throughout actual human history for deterring attackers and protecting a fortification. So it is actually kind of cool that something similar works in game. It is something small, but something that can be added to every base builder's toolkit. So did I miss something? What clever use case can you all come up with that I didn't test? Let me know in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer those and conduct further tests if need be. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and if you're digging these niche type of topics, perhaps suggest another one in the comments. Of course, you can also just like the video. That is the best way of supporting our channel, as the YouTube algorithm likes them likes. If you aren't already a member of the posse, click that subscribe button and tap the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on the next video. Most of our audience is unsubscribed, so commit already and join our little community. Last but not least, I want to thank our awesome Patreon members. Both Taco Bear and I really appreciate your generosity. Thank you all so much. On that note, this is Eerie Knight signing off. See you all in the next video.